From WNYT Albany, News Channel 13 live at 5 begins with breaking news.
Hello and good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Steve Cooge. That breaking news we've got for you is happening right now in Saratoga County. That's where police are investigating a deadly shooting. This took place at a mobile home park in Malta. Our Stella Porter is there live at the scene. Stella, I gotta imagine neighbors there must be feeling pretty shocked over all this.
It definitely shocks Steve. Neighbors have been coming up to us all afternoon and asking what is going on here and saying they can't believe this is happening at their quiet development. This investigation is focused on this one home on the left side of Raymond Drive down the street from where we are. You can see that crime scene tape, and investigators and law enforcement still outside there. The Saratoga County Sheriff's Office arrived around 11:30 this morning. They say they found a man dead inside that home with a gunshot wound. And sources tell us this is related to a possible burglary incident, though the sheriff's office has not confirmed any of that just yet. The park's management told residents in a letter that we obtained today, it appears a visitor entered the wrong home and was shot by the homeowner who believed the person to be an intruder. However, neighbors here tell us they feel really safe living here.
Everybody's friendly, and the office people are just fantastic. They're right there if you need them for anything, But we downsized from Lake Luzerne to here, and we're very satisfied.
Never felt unsafe here?
No, not at all.
And right now, there's no indication that there's any threat to the public, according to the Saratoga County Sheriff. We also don't have the identification of that man found inside the home, but we are following up with law enforcement, and hopefully we'll have an update for you coming up live at 6. Reporting live in Malta, Stella Porter, News Channel 13. Steve, back to you.
Crimes can happen anywhere to anyone. Thank you for staying on that, Stella. Hopefully they get to the bottom of it. Well, now to a story you saw first on 13. The Cohoes man who was charged with murdering an infant has now been extradited out of Mexico back here to the U.S. Anthony Ojeda was one of the U.S. Marshal's 15 most wanted fugitives. He was arrested in 2019 for the death of a 6-week-old infant. That death happened in Albany County. Well, after 2 years on the run, Ojeda was captured in Mexico by law enforcement authorities there. Ojeda and his husband, Neil Garzon, took off from Cohoes in June 2021 after Ojeda was charged in the murder of the baby Eli. Prosecutors said the baby had injuries to his ribs and head and also toxic levels of methamphetamine. They say that's what killed him. Garzon has already been brought back to the U.S. to answer for his role in that case. Ojeda is now in the custody of U.S. Marshals, waiting to be charged. Now to this, more breaking news, this time out of Montgomery County this evening. That is where the search for a missing fisherman continues, right near Lock 12. You see it right there on your map. A fisherman fell into the Mohawk River right there off a bridge. The search currently has been going on since yesterday. So far, unfortunately, no signs of the man. Our Dan Levy is going to be joining us here live from the scene. Dan, any new updates you can share with us at this time?
Unfortunately not, Steve, but it is the first full day of searching these swirling, murky waters of the Mohawk River behind me. From sunup this morning until right now, the exhaustive search has turned up nothing, but it is not for a lack of trying. Let's take you out on the river right now to show you what is going on, and we'll show you what has been going on as well. It's now a little more than 29 hours since that fisherman fell into the river. A witness tells us that they heard him screaming for help, and they saw another fisherman toss him a life preserver. But of course, that rescue attempt failed. 911 was called at 11:35 Thursday morning. Police were here within minutes. And then came the police boats from State Police and from the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department. And the divers were in the water yesterday afternoon until dusk. They returned at daybreak today. And again, nothing. Now, since about 4 o'clock today, about 1 hour ago, the State Police boat has been tied up on the south side of the river in the hamlet of Fort Hunter. And the Sheriff's boat, along with a personal watercraft that was tied to the side, had remained anchored in the middle of the river, but within the last 10 to 15 minutes, that boat has moved on downriver. It's not clear if it's the end of the shift or if they're just searching downriver, but the divers all appear to be out of the water at this point. And it's unclear what the strategy might be, but I can tell you that since we were here since late this morning, we haven't seen a search of the water anywhere other than where we are right here, just below the dam at Lock 12 of the Erie Canal. If and when there are any developments, if the sheriff has any new information for us, we will bring it to you on air and online. We're live in Montgomery County with coverage you could trust. Dan Levy, News Channel 13. Steve, send it back to you.
Yeah, that river right there is a lot stronger than people think. And the water clarity, it is very tough to see anything when you dip your head right below the water. And of course, with the weather turning as nice as it is right now, we're going to have a lot of people going out to fish along the Hudson River, probably this Father's Day weekend. Let's throw things over now to meteorologist Paul Cayano with a look at that first morning hour-by-hour forecast. Paul.
Hey, Steve. Yeah, we've been tracking a couple of showers and thunderstorms through parts of our area where the showers this morning have departed pretty quickly from the North Country. So here's what's left. Some cloud buildup and still some showers over the Berkshires in Pittsfield right now, where it's 72 degrees on the CDPHP first warning cam. Last hour, we had a heavy downpour over town, and it dropped about a quarter of an inch of rain out here over the Berkshires. And you could see on the first warning live Doppler, we were looking right into that shower north of Pittsfield. Additional spotty showers out in the Lebanon Valley along Route 20, heading toward the state line. Really not going to amount to much, and the wider picture shows just how dry most of the rest of the region is. So we'll be dry going into the evening hours locally. Temperatures with some sunshine coming back have spiked back into the lower to mid 80s across a large part of the metro area. Surrounding communities still in the very warm and comfortable 70s. Notice the flare up of thunderstorms down into Pennsylvania, moving into the northwest corner of New Jersey. Those are the ones that will miss us to the south that we were concerned about a couple days ago being here. So that's just how close they came. They are strong to severe and heading toward the New York City area, but not the capital region. Meantime, we'll see temperatures slide back through the 70s slowly. So not a dramatic drop off temperature wise. It'll be quite mild on your Friday evening if you have some plans outdoors with some friends ahead of the weekend. Looking pretty good. And speaking of the weekend, boy, does it look nice. We'll talk about the temperatures, what we could expect for Father's Day, plus that big heat wave we've been advertising this week. Details on that as well coming up in just a bit. Steve.
Interesting look at that storm cell. Looks like we dodged a bullet there up here in the upstate. Thank you for that, Paul. A big endorsement today in the race for Albany County's district attorney. Albany County Sheriff Craig Apple, he's throwing his support behind current district attorney David Soares. Sheriff Apple says he normally doesn't get involved in politics, but he says time is needed right now to throw his weight into this race. The sheriff says Soares has been a champion for hundreds of victims and has been hard on offenders. But he's also created many alternatives to incarceration in Albany County. Have a listen.
I get paid to keep people safe. I get paid every day to go out there and work with the men and women in this great department to keep people safe. And then we turn them over to the district attorney's office, who has been working with every law enforcement agency around here. And he's been trying and he's been leading the charge to change bail reform, not throw it out.
Got up with Soares' opponent in the Democratic primary, Lee Kindlin. You see him right there. He has been endorsed by Albany's mayor, Kathy Sheehan, and the Albany County executive, Dan McCoy.
You know, ultimately, the voters in Albany County have to decide if they're happy with the status quo or if they want to change in direction with the Albany County District Attorney's Office.
Kindlin says he's going to be rolling out with even more endorsements in the next couple of days. If you're looking for new places to shop for groceries, got good news for you. There are now 4 new Price Chopper 32 stores here in the capital region, and they all opened just this morning. The stores are replacing the former ShopRites in Colony, Niskayuna, North Greenbush, and on Central Avenue in Albany. Today and tomorrow, customers at all 4 stores are going to get an additional 5% off of their groceries. So if you do some weekend shopping, these are the stores to go to. All these places are also going to donate 5% of their sales to the local regional food bank of Northeastern New York and also make donations to youth sports programs. You see it right there. Today, June 14th, is Flag Day. So we got to ask the question, how much do you really know about the American flag? Our photojournalist Justin Sumway found out some pretty interesting facts here, thanks to the Gettysburg Flag Works. Let's watch.
Talking Flag Day, right? Okay, fast facts. Pledge of Allegiance. Francis Bellamy writes the Pledge of Allegiance in, I believe, 1892. Right, so, well, no, this is just a presentation flag. So it's got fringe on it, and normally indoor flags will have fringe on it. A flag you fly outside wouldn't have fringe. It's just not made to be outdoors. It'll wear and tear pretty quickly with the fringe on it. Origin of the U.S. flag, we go back to Betsy Ross, who made the first flag, 1776. Currently, a flag is made of nylon, typically. You can get a cotton flag, red for valor, white for innocence and purity, and blue for justice and perseverance. The father of Flag Day, Bernard Segrin, 1885. He's a school teacher in Wisconsin. He's got a love of national pride, the flag, which symbolizes our nation, and he decides that he's going to educate his class about the United States flag and proposes that there's an official day for Flag Day. And he proposes that that's the day that we celebrate the U.S. flag. But after that, he kind of spreads the word, and it becomes an official thing in 1916 when Woodrow Wilson issues a presidential proclamation naming June 14th as Flag Day. And in 1949, there's an act of Congress. They pass this act. It goes to Truman at the time. He signs off and makes it an official national holiday for Flag Day. So at that point, it's an official national holiday. It's recognized officially.
Big thanks to our photojournalist Justin Shumway for making that. Who knew? So many facts about the flag in school. I don't know about you guys, but really all we were taught was Betsy Ross made the flag, and that was it. But there's so much more to it, so it's always cool to see that. Chief Meteorologist Paul Cano is going to have a look at your full forecast when we come back as we head into this awesome Father's Day weekend. Stay with us.
Capital Region weather can take a severe turn fast. When it does, you can count on First Warning Alert Days to help keep you safe.
On First Warning Alert Days, we are watching out for you with advanced technology.
You can trust our experienced team to be fastest to alert you with dependable hour-by-hour forecasts.
Stay safe with First Warning Alert Days.
First Warning 13, severe weather coverage you can trust.
For live coverage of breaking news, watch News Channel 13.
Your go-to station for live coverage.
Live coverage allows you to see stories unfold in your community.
Live at Monroe Lake State Park, where that
Live coverage brings you closer to the story.
that courtroom was a packed house in there.
So you can see for yourself what's happening.
We have team coverage right now as the jury deliberates. Live coverage makes you feel like you're actually there.
For live coverage of breaking news, watch News Channel 13.
Coverage you can trust.
Now, your First Warning forecast with Chief Meteorologist Paul Cayano.
All right, firing up that grill ahead of Father's Day. Looking good late afternoon in just about all locations with a minor exception or two. Plenty of sunshine, warm temperatures, humidity already starting to come down a bit, but it will drop even more tonight and tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, the beginning of the weekend looks great. Area waterways, full sunshine, pleasant and warm with a light north breeze, so a touch of a chop out on Saratoga Lake, perhaps up at Lake George and over to the Great Sacandaga. Water temperatures looking good. A little cool, but going to warm up next week, that's for sure, as well as the air temperature, which will be in the 70s over both weekend days. So Father's Day looks great. If you're going to take the boat out, maybe cruise around a bit, won't really be sweating it out. And remember that sunscreen, as full sunshine really can do a number on you if you don't remember that. Check this out. We've been advertising a big heat wave next week. So from the middle to latter portion of the week, a very high chance of above normal temperatures. And I don't think it's just going to be above normal, which is close to 80 now. It's going to be way above normal. And highs are going to be 90, 92, maybe even in the mid 90s in places. Then you factor in the humidity, and it's going to feel closer to 100 by the middle of the week next week, with the heat and humidity. So prep right now over the weekend, sunglasses, of course, load up on that sunscreen now, as you will need that not only for the weekend, but into next week. And load up on the water also, because we're going to talk about this a lot in the next 7 days. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. It's the best thing to do when the heat starts to build, and we want you to avoid heat exhaustion and heat-related illness as those temperatures start to soar. All right, here's the lone shower that's left over Berkshire County and Pittsfield on the CDPHP first warning cam, looking north toward Cheshire, and it's really weakening now with time. Here's Cheshire on 8 south. They're getting to that shower by Lanesboro, moving on over to 8A. So Dalton, maybe a quick shot of some very light rain. Otherwise, all of the big stuff from earlier sweeping east of the Connecticut River Valley and off toward Boston and Worcester. The rest of our region is drying out nicely, and temperatures have responded, upper 70s and lower 80s across the entire area. 84 right now on a Friday late afternoon in June in Albany, just delightful. Look at the big flare-up of thunderstorms on the southern end of this front, which we've been tracking for the better part of the week. Remember, this thing was way out in western Canada? Well, here it is on top of us now. So we will get the residual cloud cover from this, but underneath that cloud cover, the drier air is flowing in, and this big dome of dry, comfortable air with high pressure will be right over top of us for the entire weekend. And that means a ton of sun, comfortably warm temperatures, humidity levels go down, and pleasant nights also. So we'll start off in the 50s tomorrow morning, on our way with all that sun into the middle and high 70s, and a repeat performance on Sunday. So out go the showers with that front. Full sunshine during the day Saturday. You know what? Sunday morning for Father's Day, if dads have a tea time, let's say 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, Chris, bring the light coat. It's going to be in the 40s to start on Sunday, but we'll rebound way back up into the 70s by Sunday afternoon. Again, another day with full sunshine. So overnight tonight, 57 with partly cloudy skies. We'll continue that drier trend. 77 tomorrow. Sunny, breezy, pleasant, low humidity. Sunday looks great. Father's Day, 79. Then the heat starts to crank. Monday, 88. The humidity starts to climb. Hazy, hot, and humid through the middle part of next week, even to Friday, perhaps even up to 90. So you need 3 days in a row, 90 plus for a heat wave. I think we'll do that. The big question is, are we going to be 95, 96, 97 with the heat index above 100? It's certainly in the cards. Computer models are suggesting that, some of them anyway. So we'll go a little bit more conservative now with the idea that these highs could be even a little higher.
Oh, my gosh. I can't. We're here already. I guess we're getting close to July. It's going to be sizzling. So now this is the time, this Father's Day weekend. Get out to the water, hit a pool, your neighbor's pool if you got one.
Yeah, jump the fence.
Because, I guess just brace yourself, right? Because it is going to get hot, so cool down as much as possible.
Yeah, and we said stock up on the water, got to hydrate, got to keep yourself safe during this heat and humidity that's going to build.
Yeah, that's the worst part is the humidity.
Really
I can deal with the hot heat, but when it starts to get humid, I'm having a hard time breathing, like you feel like you're in a sauna.
Right. Just gotta take it easy.
I know.
Lounge in the shade.
That's smart. All right. We got it lucky in here in this climate conditioned studio of ours.
Good point.
All right. Thank you, Paul. We are going to be right back at 6 o'clock for News Channel 13, live at 6, and we're going to be right here on YouTube. Thanks to all that golf happening on NBC.
See you then.
See you at 6.